Good morning, everyone. My name is Denise Scott, and this is Entrepreneurial Empire. Today, we were supposed to have the lovely Lady Cleopatra on with us, um, talking with Miss Angel, but it is her birthday weekend, and she is enjoying herself in Las Vegas, guys. So, happy birthday to her.
Happy
Our
birthday.
special, yes, happy birthday. Our special guest is Angel, and she is passionate about helping career women take control of their finances, create a balance around work and family, and raise money smart kids. She is a trained professional, finance coach, and a certified educational instructor. Her work revolves around helping women make smart money decisions to live a purposeful life, and she does this through Facebook community named Money Saving and Investing for Women. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Denise. My pleasure being here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, my name is Angel Egbuna, and I am a financial coach as well as a certified financial education instructor. And I haven't always been money smart. I haven't always known about money. I've had my own share struggles with money. I am an immigrant in the United States, so I didn't have prior financial education or personal finance knowledge. I was completely an financial illiterate, so to speak. Couple of years ago, when I came here, and even though I had a great job, my partner we had a great job, but we found ourselves every month, like even every pay cycle, that our accounts are being overdrawn. Like we found ourselves always with accounts being overdrawn, and we're just literally just waiting for the next paycheck, waiting for the next paycheck. And at some point, I had my new baby. I was pregnant, and we had a baby coming, and it was just a struggle. I didn't have family here, so just looking around, and there is no support. There's no family. It's just me. It was really, it was, it was at that point it was very daunting. Like I just kept wondering, is this the American life? Like what is this that I have, I just landed into? And that just led me to researching and looking for options. Like there has to be a way. This is just not how people in America live. You can't be just be working and you're pretty much just recycling, and then your accounts just keep getting overdrawn, and you go to the store and you swipe and they say declined. I'm like, damn it. Right. So that led me to going through the research that there has to be somewhere, there has to be just really a way that this works, that people just can't be doing this. It's just that it's not feasible to live like this perpetually. So it led me to take to a coach who is like a very well-known financial guru in here. So
Okay.
I learned, like I went through that whole process of, like, I didn't know anything. Like I needed to learn how money works. I needed to understand how money works and how I can gain control, because it was really frustrating. And my baby eventually came, and that here I am with a baby, and then we go to the store and I swipe. I need to get a thing for the child, and then they tell me my card is declined. And come on, I just got paid, like, not just about 2 weeks ago. So it was just putting a lot of stress and pressure. But so it took me time. It took me the learning curve of learning how money works, how I can start working through my money, living within my means, which was really really critical. I didn't have insight as to what I was bringing in, what was going out, like how what's coming in, what's going out. Having that complete picture, being able to plan and say, okay, this is what's coming in, this is how I'm going to plan out this money, like giving each dollar I earn a task, was what it boiled down to. So I learned how to give each dollar that comes into my account, I learned how to give it a task. And then I sat back I was able to now have money to take care of the needs, money to start investing, start, working through my 401k, taking advantages of all the other options that my employer had that I didn't even know of before. Because before I was all focused on taking more home with me, just so I'm not in a bind. But by the time I learned, I dialed back into understanding how my finances work, created a plan that works for me. I made an intentional spending plan, which is what I call it in my program. Is to create an intentional spending plan. So I started with creating that intentional spending plan, and that was really, really like the game changer for me personally in my finances. And that also, it's what I use in helping my clients gain control of their finances, so they are not necessarily living in the spreadsheets or like tracking every cent, tracking cents and pennies, but still being able to take care of their finances, their daily needs, and still live their life.
Mm, wow, that is wonderful. So during that process, how long did it take you that you finally saw that there was, okay, this plan works for me, and was able
It
to implement it and help others?
Yeah, so it took me about, so all through, for me implementing it in my it took a while. So I'll take it took me at least a minimum of 6 months. A minimum of 6 months, because I needed to understand my money behavior, right? I needed to understand where my money used to go, what my money did when I wasn't paying attention. Because before then, my money was doing whatever it wanted to do. It comes in, it goes where it wanted to go. And at the end, I'm chasing, like, to say, hey, where did you go? What did you do? Right. So I was always chasing after my money to figure out what it did and where it went. But it took at least about 6 months for me to start seeing traction when I became intentional, saying, this is what I want you to do. So once you come into my account, this is what I want you to do. You need to pay my bills first. Like, these are the things, like, specifically, I said, this is what I want you to do. This is where I want you to go. It took me about 6 months for me to like steadily be able to see, oh, this is really something. Like, this is okay now. Okay. I can get out and swipe my card, and I'm not afraid that it's going to be declined, because I know exactly what is sitting in the accounts, and I know what I'm about to spend, and I know that I've got enough to take care of that charge.
Mm. I love what you said about every dollar had to have a task attached to it. I love that
Right.
part. That
Right.
means that, okay, this is serious. We're going to get this done. There is a process and it will work if you put your
Right.
mindset to it. Um, and your love of helping career women, how did that come about?
So I am a career woman myself. So I am naturally, so for me, it's just natural to share from my journey. I'm an IT professional, and I've been in the IT finance space for over a decade. So this is really like, an area that I have grown. I know I've been in the corporates, I know the struggles. And so it was literally just for me easier to say, hey, this is what has worked for me in my own career, in my life. Like, so and that's why, like, it was more or less like a natural inclination to career women, just because I'm a career woman myself. And so I've been through a couple of things that a lot of them are going through. So it's more or less like you can relate and you can learn from me. I've done it all. I've made the mistakes here, and I'm learning from my mistakes, and I'm applying, so you can see and take a glean from my own journey.
Mm, beautiful, beautiful. Um, and you said you started um, because of your daughter when you gave birth, and you wanted to
Hmm.
make sure that you didn't have to worry about issues of going somewhere into a store, you know, and having that card decline.
Right.
Um, the importance of knowing when your money comes in and how it's going out is so important. Um, can you talk a little bit more of different ways? Because not saying that just our people of color don't understand how to process money um, better. I guess that would be a word for it, or how would you want to say it? Um, how to sit down and know where your money is going, how to save it for those rainy days. Are there ways that we could learn that's simple that you could teach us or give us a couple of tips about?
Yes, so it is very, very important, especially as women, right? To take control of our finances. It's more or less, becoming financially literate. It's becoming empowered to take control of your life. You are literally just being in the driver or in the pilot seat. You take charge of your life and you're able to drive the course and get your life in the direction that you want it. So that's why I really encourage every woman out there to get become financially literate. It's not rocket science, and you don't have to have a degree in mathematics or statistics or anything like that. These are just like very basic simple things that you can do to gain control of your finances. And for me, I really think that, the very first thing is for you to acknowledge the fact that, okay, I want to do this. I really need to do this. Stop leaving it to chance. Stop living. It starts with you being intentional. That's the very first step. Like, just understand that it is up to me to create the life I want and that for my children. The reason is because statistically, we women, we live longer. Our retirement is longer. It is for us to take ownership of our life. And there are ways, like a few ways that you can we can do that really. It's number one, what I would suggest is to make retirement a priority. Like, so just make retirement a priority as a woman. We're always giving our lives out to everyone. We always caring for everybody and everyone.
All the time.
Yeah, so from our kids, from our spouse, like we always take care of everyone except us. So start by making retirement a priority for you. I like to use the analogy, like, when we get on the plane and we're traveling and when we are being the airline crew are talking about the oxygen mask falling off, you're being asked to first put your own first before you help even your child.
I love that analogy.
And that
Yes.
is how I'd like for women to start thinking about, their finances, their retirement. It starts with you. Take put on First of all, plan for your own retirement, and you can do this by just number one, maximize your take advantage of your 401k, your employer 401k that you're being that's made available to you. If you don't do that, that is free money. That is free money you are losing. A lot of organizations give you are contributing to your 401k to the tune of between 3% and 6%. Most companies in the United States will offer you 401k benefits between, they are contributing to your 401k between a match. They're doing a match to your 401k between 3% to 6%. What I'd like for you to do right now is to check in with your HR and take advantage, maximize, contribute up to the max that your company matches. So if your company matches 5%, or if they match 5%, make sure that you are contributing up to 5% to your 401k, because they are going to match your contribution. If you're contributing less, whatever less you're contributing is what they are going to match. You're losing money. You're losing money. So if your company is matching you, whatever percentage they're matching, please make sure that you match it. When you match it, that's okay. That's the first step. You're matching it. You can now leave that alone and scale back in. The next thing I would like for you to do is not just save, invest. Again, sometimes people find it difficult to save, and they say saving, by the time I finish everything else, by the time all the bills and all the expenses have to come out, grocery and things like that, I don't have any money to save. Well, when I say you should take charge, what I suggest you do is to pay yourself first. That is a very, very key, a fundamental phenomenon in the whole personal finance world that will help you take the power away from yourself. Pay yourself first. So what I mean by that is, literally, you can open a savings account. Most accounts we have, you have a checking account, have a savings account. And if you already done that already and still you still can still wiggle it, create a separate savings account that is attached to your checking account where your income is being your salary is being deposited. Okay, when you do that, you can set up an automatic amount. Set up an amount that go, it could be 10%, it could be 15%, depending on how much you can do. Even if you can do only $10, even if you can do only $20, or you can do just $50, that's okay. Start. That is very, very important. Start. Automate that amount so that the moment your pay comes into your checking account, that money is automatically transferred to that savings account without you having to do it. It's going on, it's happening automatically, no matter how much you can afford. Then you've taken your that's how you're taking care of your finances, you're taking care, you are being proactive in planning. That's you. Every other thing, once you've done this, every other thing can happen in the background, like all the cards swiping and everything else can go on. However, some people still come to me and like, but we don't have enough. Like, I don't even make enough money to even spare that $50 you're telling me. So, in that case, I will ask you to scale back, okay? Take a list of all your expenses. Look at what you're bringing in. In that case, chances are you might be looking at options to bring in more money because maybe you're not making enough. And that's what I really do with my clients. So I look and see if you can't really follow this traditional advice, because that's one thing that is very key. Personal finance is personal. There is no one ruler for everyone. There's no one shoe that fits all. It is absolutely personal. What works for me might not work for you. What's working for you might not work for me, because it is called personal finance. So what I do is I really come in and I try to understand where you are in your own journey, and then I'm going to work with you. We have to come to where you are and look at, if you are a high income earner, if you're a high income earner and yet you still can't account for your money, the plan for you will be different for somebody who is barely trying to keep the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have to look at, and so that's what I'm trying to just give that perspective. So don't take it that, oh, you have to just go ahead and make retirement your priority, save, invest, and seek for support. If that is not where you are, that is okay. Just look at where you are. If you're not bringing in enough money to save and invest, you can as well just look at the option to increase your income. There are ways that you can do that today. I really primarily start for career women. I really start looking at your skills and what you want to do, because I just don't want you doing a job that you hate. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people work jobs that they hate today, and they're just working that job just because of the pay. Take that pay away, and they wouldn't work that job anymore. So it's important, like, because even as you're working to get money, it's also important to know that you're living your life, your purpose. You're fulfilled in your own life, like the life we're living here. It's only when you are living that purposeful life that you can empower someone. You can touch someone positively. So that's also very important. If you're not bringing in enough money, look at other ways you can. Do I need, to improve my skills? Do I need to learn a new skill that can help me gain a better employment that will be able to afford the kind of life that I want?
Yes. That is, oh, so many nuggets was dropped just then. Thank you. Um, Especially about the 401k and the matching. That is so important, people. That is so important. Um, wow, thank you for that. Um, and you're right. Once you take control of your finances, you do get that power back. You do get that control back. You do get that, like you said, purpose to know where your money's going, how it's being spent, and where and when to save, know when and where to, like you said, if you need that extra income, what are your passion and your purpose? If you don't love that job, there's always other revenues that you can take. Great, great information. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I want to talk a little bit because when I read your bio, I was like, wow. You mentioned children, and I think that children are our future. They are, everything. Why are you so passionate about letting them know how to save money, how to spend money? Why is that important?
Well, it's great because see, there is a phrase or a saying that says "catch them young," right? So the thing is, I didn't have the opportunity, when I was younger, to learn about finances. A lot of us, we didn't see finances being discussed in our families. We didn't even know what money was in our, where a lot of us in our families growing up. Some of us, even when we hear money talk conversation in our family, it is tension with our parents. It's headbutting. Like we didn't understand. My goal is when they know, there is something that is very, very powerful in building wealth, and that is called compound interest. Compound interest is the most magical element in building wealth. However, compound interest works when you are young or when you start early. It still works for everybody, regardless of where you are, but the effort is so reduced when you are young. So
Mm,
when you start early, you can comfortably be putting away 10% of your income annually. However, if you wait until you're 40, that percentage doubles, it doubles and in some cases triples tremendously. So that is really I'm passionate about really teaching markets, because the truth is that if we learn way younger how money works and how to, if we are given the opportunity, we will make smart decisions as
yes.
young adults coming in. We will be in a better position to build wealth and live that life that we desire. That is our younger children now coming up. When the kids know the value for money, I see a lot of parents my age say, "Oh, I suffered, so I don't want my child to suffer."
Mm,
And I want to understand, what does that mean? That means buying everything that the child wants. You're not empowering that child. I'd rather want to teach my kids the value of money. And I think I have a recent post that I made when I talk about empowering our kids. It's very, very key to let them know. And there is no age. There are age appropriate lessons that you can, regardless of how young your child is, there are age appropriate lessons that you can teach that child with a bit of letting them understand how money works. Your goal is to raise money smart children. We won't always be here. And that's one thing I want to always, and make parents know. As a parent, you won't always be there with your child. There has to come a time where that child has to be by themselves. They have to take that decision on their own. You won't be there. If you had empowered the child, that child will remember the lessons, the principles they grew up with around money. That will guide them in taking the right decision. Whereas you will just watch back and know that, yes, I've done my bit, and I trust that my child will do what is right. So, a lot of people that really right now that are doing like young adults that are really doing great when in terms to making decisions around career, businesses, being entrepreneurs and doing well. Some of them have been exposed to this foundation. They understand how money works.
mm-hmm.
So that's why it's key. Empower this young generation. Let them know, right? Teach them the value of a dollar. That you can't just get it like I want it a,
Trees.
a practical thing, and then I can share this and wrap up with it. My purpose is really, or my objective is to let my kids become money smart, so that when I'm not here, When I'm not there, my kids can make great financial decisions that will pave their path. Okay. I want them to not struggle. I want them to have it all laid out. Sometimes you don't. But again, when you have the knowledge, when you are exposed, you have the fundamentals, you'll be able to connect the dots. And that's the opportunity that I'd like for parents to let their kids know. Teach children it's very simple. If you're bringing in money, don't if you're bringing in, the value of what you're bringing in, how is money earned?
Mm.
Again, a lot of kids know that their parents are working, but again, what are you doing? Do you talk to your kids about your job? Do you talk to your kids about money? Some people try to like shield them. Oh, you don't want money conversations. No, there are healthy conversations that you can have with your kids, and depending on their age, as they get older, involve them even in the money decisions for the family. Let your child be the one to draw up the grocery list. Let them be in charge of the pantry. As they get older, just give them, what's appropriate and involve them. You're empowering your children. You're letting them understand the value of money, and you are giving them an opportunity that a lot of us didn't have. And they will grow up to become smart kids making great financial decisions way ahead of their peers.
I truly believe that, especially when it comes to knowing how to, you have to pay the whole electric bill, the whole gas bill. Set aside money if you want to go out to eat, to the movies, and with your friends, but know that the important things come first, and you just can't just spend because you don't
Right.
have a future like that. That's
Right.
so.
So let me just add because I just I forgot to add that part. So before I have three kids and between 8 and 3. So and they were always like, I want this, I want this. Like a lot of parents going to the store, a lot of parents going to the store with your kids is always a nightmare because you have to be grabbing things. But my kids now know that, or sometimes you'll be like, oh, mommy, I want Chick-fil-A, I want this. They know that the only days you can get Chick-fil-A or pizza is on Fridays. And
Okay,
we've
so
worked that into our budget. They know that it's part of our budget. You get it on Fridays. If you ask for it any other day outside this day, you won't get it. There is no argument. One of them will remind the other one, it's not Friday yet. So they now patiently, because they are part of it. So we go to the store and they know, okay, a typical example, we had to go into the store yesterday, Saturday, to get a birthday present for their cousin, and they know we are going in to do what? Get a birthday present for our cousin. So as we got in and they were seeing all the shiny, and then they're like, "Mommy already said we only not buying." So the younger one was like, "Okay, mommy, when next we come in to buy for my own birthday, this is what I want." I'm like, "Okay." But right now, the only thing we came in here to do, and we were able to walk in and we picked what we came in to pick, and we left the store without extras for them. That didn't have to happen. That didn't used to happen before,
okay.
but it just took us involving them and teaching. So the kids, you think they don't know, you think they won't understand, but they do. And they appreciate your efforts. They appreciate that you're working hard to give them the life that they have. So they will willingly contribute their own little piece to the financial well-being of your family. Involve them.
It's better to involve them so that they can stop, and you can stop spending so much money on shoes and the games and all those things, because there's more important things to put the money on for the child,
Exactly.
instead of, they don't have to grow up so spoiled. I love that. And you guys, did you sit down to pick the day Friday, or that's something that you?
So so because it's Friday, Friday is like, I let them stay up a little late on Friday. So we call Friday movie night for the family.
Ooh,
So it's movie night. So we just get them to watch a movie. So it's Friday. We are not in a hurry to wake up early, the next morning to go to school. So we just enjoy Friday being together and just, Chick-fil-A, pizza, whatever it is, we just sit at home and just enjoy it. And sometimes we go to the movies, but in most cases, we stay at home.
And I love what you're saying, teach them young. So before we get off of here, what is a good age? Um, because any time is a great time to start, people. Any time is a great time to start. But for those listening now, what is a couple of tips that you could give us before we go?
So for the kids, for my 3-year-old, really, he doesn't understand. Like he doesn't have. So what I do is, when my kids were younger, we used to do allowance where every month we would give them an allowance. And now we're contributing, we are planning for their education, because that's one thing that, I don't want to even put out here. So parents, if there is just this whole culture of student loans in America. Unfortunately, where I come from, it's not the culture. My parents paid through my college, like it's a gift. I thought it was a norm, but when I got here and I realized, like, I so God bless my parents, like, I'm so grateful for them for giving me that opportunity without an additional burden of debt. So if anything, I also want to give my kids that opportunity. It's a gift that I'm going to give them to be able to set up their life on the right foot.
Mm,
So they don't go into education incurring debt. So if you can start, and you don't have to like break an arm and leg. You can start contributing a little amount. My suggestion is to do a 529. So five to start putting money away into your kids college funds, 529. And even if they don't go to college, you can transfer it to another child. And if right now there is a new rule that that uh, that was passed not too long ago. So even if you're not going to use it, you can also transfer that 529 into a Roth IRA. So that becomes essentially your money. So that's really a good route, and you can start with, no matter how little, you can start putting away towards your kids' education. But in terms of teaching, let me bring it back home as well. So if we're doing that, and then I'm teaching them, my kids right now have chores. So there are chores that they do around the house, that is, you have to do it because you're a member of this family, and you have to contribute to the well-being of our family to get our family work. So I don't reward you for making your bed. However, there are specific chores that I we have added, $1, $1, $1 for them, so that when they do the chores unreminded. So my 8-year-old right now has to do the dishes. So so he if it goes without, he has to do the dishes, he has to take out the trash. um if I don't remind you to do that, and you do it on your own, you earn $1. If I remind you to do it, sorry, we have to try again. Okay, so now that money that they're earning, both him, so the 8-year-old and the 5-year-old, my 3-year-old doesn't have a chore yet to earn. However, he knows not to ask for things when we are not going to buy it. So that's how he's learning, and he knows to wait. So delayed gratification is a great way that you can teach younger kids. Younger kids, you can teach them delayed gratification. What that means simply means is, not every time they say I want this, you buy it. Not every time they say I want this, you buy it. When they say I want this, make them wait. Get the kids to wait. That is how you'll be teaching them delayed gratification. But for your older ones that can still do chores around the house, let them do the chores. You have to find the chores that they have to do, because you don't have to pay them for doing those chores. They are part of your family. And then in order to teach them about money, just have some, few chores that they have to do unmotivated, do it by themselves, and then you compensate them for doing that. And when they earn that money, so for us, Sundays are paydays. When they earn that money, you still sit down and teach them. In my own family, we have like a family money rule, where for whatever money you earn, you have to save a part of it, give a part of it, and then
that's
and
good.
spend a part of it. So we give, we save and invest. So save and invest, you give, and then you spend. So that's what they do. So when they have three envelopes. They each have their piggy banks, and then they have their envelopes. So we try to give them in single dollar bills, so that you can split it in three, and then you can put what you want to, your save and invest, you put it in that envelope. Your give money, you put it in the envelope, and then your spend money, do whatever you want to do with it. So if you want candy, just make sure to bring your envelope, your spend envelope, so that you can buy from it when next we go to Dollar Tree, or we'll go to a store and you want candy. If we go to church, bring your give envelope. That way you can take from your give envelope and be able to give, or give anywhere else you would like to give. But that's practical ways that that I'm doing, and I believe will be helpful to anybody to implement as well.
That is beautiful. Spend, give, save. And the give can go to like a gift or, like you said, the church, whatever. The
Yes.
spend, that is just for you. And then the save is for the future. Oh, that
Yes.
is, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming on. Um, I would love to have you come on again to tell us a little bit more about how to save as far as career women, entrepreneurs out there. Um, Please let us know, even if you have any questions. Before we end, um, mother and daughter business team Irene in London from licmc.net radio want to wish you a happy and blessed Mother's Day. You can follow them on Facebook at licmc.net radio. Thank you. If anyone would like to purchase a ticker, it is only $25 to have it run for 4 episodes to get your business out there. We want to wish everyone a blessed and happy Sunday. Until next episode. Thank you for watching. And thank you again, Miss Angel, for coming on to share your wisdom, your knowledge, your expertise with us, and especially how to help our children save money. And please
Thank you
let
for
us
having
know a
me.
couple of different ways how we can reach you, connect with you on your social platforms.
Okay, great. And so I would just end, yes, that's my website. And then I'll just end by, encouraging everyone that financial independence isn't just about how much you make, which is really something that people, that's a myth that is out there. Financial independence is not about how much you make. It is about having the confidence to take control and be in the driver's seat to take the decisions and pilot your life into how to the chart that you wanted. It's about that, the confidence to take your own decisions. So it has nothing to do with how much you make, regardless of how much you make. It is being empowered to get that confidence to take your own decisions. And you can connect with me anywhere on the social media platforms, on the Money Savvy Angel, on Facebook at Angel Oge Egbuna, Twitter Money Savvy Angel, and then Instagram the Money Savvy Angel. You can find me on any of these platforms.
And before we go, I always ask, especially if it's in a unique and beautiful name, how did you come up with the money saving angel?
So it's just been, so for me, it's becoming money savvy. So my whole purpose, my whole objective, my whole goal is to let people that come in contact with me to become money savvy. So I'd like for you to become money savvy, and I'd like for you to also let people come in with your kids to become money savvy. So that's why I just then I added my name to it, because I want, when you hear the word money savvy, just know that there's an angel with it. So money savvy angel, just yeah, that's how it came about.
Thank you, thank you. As always, everyone, be bold, be beautiful, be blessed. Take control of your finances to take control of your life, okay? Have a
All
great
right.
day.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.